So the idea of people using the reason that their higher mind has done this to them or not done this for them and so on and so forth is just another way of going into a negative belief that you yourself are not in control, when of course you are using your control to make it seem as if you're not.
Amazing. This person was talking about after the session, the window, the door, and the gate. I guess it would have been the first one. They heard footsteps in their hallway, and as first they thought it was their roommate, but eventually they went to see who was pacing, and they opened the door and they saw like a silhouette of a figure turning a corner. So they followed it, and then they saw its silhouette just turn into another room, but then there was no one there. So what was this? Was this a hybrid child, or what was this that they saw?
It can be a spirit guide, but more likely than not, it's one of what many people refer to as a shadow being that lures you into more of yourself, lures you into curiosity, lures you into exploration, lures you into expanding your consciousness and your awareness that there are beings all around you in different dimensions all the time, and allowing your senses to increase in sensitivity to the point where you can begin to see them and know that you always have self.
And many teachings talk about the purpose of spiritual evolution being to return to God or wake up from the dream. Can you clarify this?
Well, the idea is that physical reality is a dream. And when you become lucid in that dream, you wake up and become more of your true self, which is more reflective of being an aspect of what you call God. The idea of unconditional love, unconditional being, unconditional allowance, unconditional acceptance, no judgment in the negative sense in that way, but the recognition that everything is connected, everything is an expression of all that is, of the one, and that physical reality is just a portion of your consciousness experiencing a temporary condition in which you learn things you otherwise couldn't necessarily experience or learn in any other way.
And since we're constantly navigating to different realities and different parallel versions of people, who are we really in relationship with? What makes these connections real? And how is it that others seem to be able to make their own choices and be different to us in our world than we want them to be, supposedly? And other time, like, how does that work if they have free will, but you're manifesting the version of the person that you're experiencing?
Yes. It doesn't mean those beings aren't real, but again, you're manifesting your version of them, a simulation of them in a sense that is relevant for you and for the agreements that you have made between each other. Remember, there are many layers and levels to this. It's all by theme, it's all by agreement. So you will experience the version of them, even though they are a real consciousness, a real being, that you need to experience in order for your agreement or your side of the agreement to be fulfilled, as they will experience of you, their version of you that allows their side of the agreement to be fulfilled. And the agreements mostly have to do with each of you discovering what you need to discover to become more of your true selves in whatever way, shape, or form that needs to work, according to the themes that you chose to explore. Because again, remember, like vibration to like vibration, you will join and connect and interact with other spirits and other beings and other levels of consciousness, each of which fulfill the agreements you have made with each other to reflect to each other what you need to know to allow you to experience what you agreed to experience in this reality.
So if you're experiencing another person that's not treating you right or something like that,
then it gives you the opportunity to learn how to stand up for yourself and be stronger as an individual, knowing that a person might be coming from fear. Even if they're not conscious of the idea, they can still be presenting you with something that gives you the opportunity to stand your ground, to know who you really are, as opposed to, shall we say, folding or crumbling or caving in to what someone else may be saying about you. So, in a different form and expression of love, Whether they know it or not, they may be giving you a sparkling opportunity to really be in your core, to know who you really are, being given the contrast of who you are not, and recognizing that some issues belong to other people and not you. And by being yourself, you give them the opportunity to see the consequence of their choices being reflected by you.
So even if you might experience that as not being in control because the other person is not doing what you want, on another level, you are manifesting that version of that person in order to give yourself an opportunity to become more of your true self.
Let us just be clear about this. Your soul's growth and your evolution is never about what you may want another person to be. It's about what you prefer to be. Again, this is just another version of saying, I'm going to gauge that things are changing because the outside world is changing or another person is changing in the way that I want them to. It's never about what you want for someone else. It's about what you're willing to learn from what is going on and how it is you decide to be a person that you prefer to be, regardless of what other people are doing. Remember, the measure of change is not whether the outside world or anyone else ever changes. The true measure of change is how you respond differently, even if things still look the same. That's what lets you know you've truly changed.
Is there a large percentage of people that are attracted to your information, contact specialists or contact specialists in the future?
Potentially, possibly, yes. We give off certain frequencies that allow for many different kinds of probabilities of attraction and connection that can play out in many other ways based on the idea of things that are similar for us being similar for those people who may be attracted to different portions of our vibration.
But in general, individuals that are attracted to your vibration would be people that are interested in contact.
Maybe. For the most part, yes. The vast majority, yes. Not all, not necessarily. Many people may have different agendas and need different things from our vibration, including things that may seem completely opposite.
Well, and in addition, you've given out so much information about psychological states, how to transform negative states into positive states. All of these things are important to have people who are on Earth and are challenged by the experience of limitation.
Yes. But again, it depends on how they use the energy. It's their choice. It's in their hand, Troll.
Right. Are there some ways that we can experience better communication with trees and plants?
Use your imagination, use your permission slips, see what you're attracted to do. You can, again, start with some of the exercises that Willa Hilla-Chrissing has offered to many of you and will continue to do so in the near future. But it's left up to your imagination and what you're attracted to do and where it is you're attracted to be on the planet that might put you more in contact with nature. Trust your guides, trust your imagination, trust your feelings in that sense.
And one person was saying that they feed a lot of wild animals in the forest, but they feel sad knowing that there's not enough food for all of them and that a lot of them will die. Can they just say, oh, well, this is just an illusion of life, and therefore I don't need to feed them, or
No. That's a misunderstanding. Do what your heart says is true for you. Do not focus on the negative. And with regard to feeding the wild animals, do you also feed humanity? Are you willing to feed the humans that are starving as well? Do you feel empathy and compassion for those that will die of starvation in the human population, as well as the animal population? Because the animals are only reflecting what's going on in humanity, because that's one of the things they do with their unconditional love. So if you feel an empathetic urge to support the animals, allow yourself to take action on the empathetic urge that transfers over also to those in your own human population that are being reflected by the animals in terms of their starvation and their suffering. Again, teach them that they don't have to. Act to feed them where you can, but also feed them information that gives them the opportunity to move forward in a more balanced way. You have a parable on your planet about the idea of giving someone a fish feeds them for a day. Teaching them to fish feeds them for the rest of their life. So while you may have the empathy and compassion to give food to animals and humans, also for the humans, teach them how to feed themselves. Teach them how to live lives where they are knowing they are self-empowered and self-sustaining.
And so when individuals are connecting with higher states of consciousness in plants and animals, and perhaps they feel a sense of, oh, all of this is being destroyed, the forests are being cut down, there's fires, etc.
Yes, and that is so. And that is so. It's not an ignoring of that. It's not an ignoring of that. But it's summoning the willingness to know that that is not necessarily the idea of the expression of balance. And therefore, it's mostly being done out of fear of lack, fear of desperation, so on and so forth, and doing something and take the actions to bring things back into balance. It's not about ignoring it. It's about taking the actions that are representative of the actions that you would be taking if you already lived on a world of balance, and recognizing when something is out of balance to bring it back into balance. It's not about ignoring it. It's not about saying, oh, it's just an illusion. It's about the willingness to take the actions that are representative of bringing everything back into balance.
So from a shamanic perspective,
yes,
if those kinds of negative thoughts are intruding upon your experience of communication with plants and animals, is that the same idea of how to deal with it? Because it lowers your frequency when you go into a negative state about what's happening and can
yes,
break the connection of communication that you're experiencing.
Again, balance. The balance between the acknowledgement of the spirit having chosen to have certain challenges and certain experiences, but why? For the betterment, for learning, for expanding beyond those experiences, for transforming them. So the idea is to do something about it. Knowing that, yes, everything is eternal, knowing that physical reality is an illusion, but also knowing that the experience of physical reality is real. Knowing that the challenges of physical reality are there for your growth if you accept them that way. It's not about not doing anything about it. It's not about going into despair. It's not about just ignoring it because you think it's all an illusion. It's there for your reason. And your reason is to accept the challenge and take the actions necessary to allow you to experience balance between the spirit and the physical, to be the creator and the co-creator, and allow yourself to take the actions in physical language that allow you to experience the reality in yourself, that then allows you to act as a living example of what others can also choose, whether they do so or not. So it's about the choices you make that are reflective of the world you say you prefer to live in.
That's really helpful.
All right.
One person is asking about the chakra system and if it's evolving over time, or is it a fixed thing, metaphysically speaking?
There is a structure to it. There's a structure to it. The evolution that happens over time as you become more aware of it and more aware of how to balance it and how to use it to your advantage.
And I guess a last question would be, what are some symptoms, or are there symptoms when your vibration is rising?
Well, again, it depends on how much resistance there is created by negative belief systems or limiting belief systems. It can be experienced as somewhat painful if higher frequency energies are attempting to get through your neurological pathway. In the same way, if you kink a water hose, it's more challenging for the water to get through and can cause leakages to occur at other places. So resistance can cause pain, can cause symptoms of disease, and so on and so forth. So the idea is to become less resistant to that flow of energy. Follow the formula, live your life of joy and fulfillment, be your true self, and the resistance will fade. Let go of those belief systems that are fear-based, that don't belong to you, that don't work for you, and the resistance will fade. And the higher frequencies will be more capable of going through you as you become more conductive, superconductive, and hyperconductive.
Okay, and is there anything else you would like to add before we...
Yes, there was a question which may seem like a simple question, but for some people will have a particular effect. A person asked a question as to when I was physically born with regard to the Earth's calendar. I will be born, according to the Earth's calendar, the closest approximation would be the year 2312. And that will suffice for today's transmission, excepting for what now remains for you to enjoy as your meditative exercise and experience. So relax, step out of that doorway, into the yard, and into more and more probability. Now we invite you all to become very relaxed for this short meditation. Allow yourselves to breathe deeply and easily. Bring in whatever lighting or music you wish. It's up to you. Eyes open, eyes closed. It doesn't matter. Let your imagination have free rein in this. And remember the first part where we had you in your imaginary house looking out the window. Now we invite you to go to the door. As you see yourself walking to the door, as you gently open the door, as you allow yourself to look outside into the yard, there is a fence and a gate beyond of any configuration you so desire, but right now you stay in the doorway, looking at the yard, looking at how beautiful it is, be it landscaped in one way, shape, or form or another is up to your imagination, whatever feels homey and comfortable for you. And as you stand in the doorway regarding the day outside or the night outside, again, any time, any temperature that is comfortable for you, you allow yourself to find that one spot in the yard that is your spot, a perfect spot, to be able to gaze up at the sky. And you go and walk to that spot, or sit in that spot, or lie in that spot. Again, let your imagination be your guide. And you feel the spot holding you, as if in its arms, nurturing you, supporting you, comforting you. It is your spot. It is you. You are you in this spot. As you have come through the door to this new realm, this new place that welcomes you and that you feel comfortable in. It is still part of your home, your imaginary home. But now you are outside, looking up at the sky, be it the day sky, the night sky, with clouds or not. And you allow your eyes and your senses to sort of focus on a different level of the sky, a deeper level of the sky. And you start to see little flitting images or lights, or things that almost look like heat waves, invisible, but they're there. And you see them going to and fro, coming and going, flitting like insects through the sky, flying hither, thither, and yon, coming through open portals and closing them, going into open portals and closing them, back and forth, crisscrossing the sky in a number of different ways. And every now and then one may stop and regard you down there in your yard in front of your house, having come through the door, and send a greeting, send a message, just a quick hello, or an energy of love, or just a connection of some sort. When you just become aware, fleetingly, or at length, of this connection, this awareness, this bond, and then it goes on its way. But the feeling lingers. It stays with you. It stays in your mind, it stays in your heart, it stays in your soul. It will never go away. Whether you feel it or not, it will always be there. You have come through a doorway to a new place, a new level, a new understanding, a new vibration. And you stretch your senses out as you stretch your body and feel that comfort, feel the warmth and the ease, the familiarity in your yard. And you know that there is, again, that wall, that gate, that fence, all around the yard. You don't yet venture there because right now you belong right here, outside the door, having stepped out, having opened yourself up, having created an invitation in your mind and your heart and your soul. And welcome those travelers, those observers, those witnesses, those helpers, those members of your family, both in spirit and extraterrestrial and extra-dimensional. And you allow your senses to become sharpened, more refined, to be able to see, to be able to sense the increase in the coming and going, in the participating and partaking of all of those entities, as they start to recognize more and more deeply your willingness to interact, your willingness for more contact, because of your willingness to be more of yourself. It's not that you need them, but it's that you invite them as an equal, as a different equal, as something beautiful, just as you are, as something worthy of interaction, just as you are, as something loving and loved unconditionally, as you are. Now stay in this yard and just enjoy and relax and feel yourself fully, body, mind, and spirit. Feel yourself fully, relaxing into, melting into the beauty of this yard, the welcoming of this yard, outside your front door of this beautiful house that is yours, where you live. For this house is you. It is where you live. It is your creation. It nurtures you and supports you, comforts you, welcomes you, but also allows you the free rein to venture beyond the window and out the door and into the yard, step by step, even though you know your next steps will take you to the gate. Allow yourself to bask right now in the sunlight, in the moonlight, in the starlight, or under the clouds, or the open sky, and feel the breezes, and feel all the life around you in the yard, on every level. The plants, the insects, any other animals, other people you may have chosen to invite in, even for a flicker of an instant. Spirit guides, soul family, invite them all, and stretch beyond the invitation to extra-dimensional, extraterrestrial beings, and of course, as always, your own higher mind and source. All are here, all are now, in your yard, your very own yard, in your imagination, in your consciousness. A beautiful space, a beautiful place, a beautiful race of being. Breathe it in. Smell the grasses, the plants, the trees, the air. All it nurtures you. All it comforts you. All it supports you. All it loves you. Unconditionally. For that is the vibration of all that is. That is the vibration of what you call heaven. The world of spirit is permeated, as is your house and your yard, with unconditional love, the frequency of existence itself, in every cell of your being. It's beautiful, it's wondrous, it's miraculous and mysterious, and therein, that mystery, lies all the answers you seek, for all exist within yourself, Discover them. Move forward with excitement and curiosity and joy. And we welcome you home. We welcome you home. We welcome you home. Contact has begun. Continue to breathe deeply, gently. Our unconditional love to you all, our deep appreciation to you all. We are in service to you. Ave.